This is the story of a fisherman, Nong Jose. Armed with his bugsai and fishing net, he sets out to sea every day with the hope of getting a good harvest. Day in and day out, he paddles, tireless and hopeful. His family depends on him to put food on the table, enough to last them for the day. The next day, he paddles again. Nong Jose hopes and dreams of a bright future for his family. Nong Jose has fears as he journeys into the sea, for the future brings about uncertainties. So goes Nong Jose, tirelessly paddling to achieve his dreams and realize his hopes for himself and his family. As the bugsai meets the waves, he thrusts himself fearlessly forward. In his journey through life, he knows he is not alone. Kindness exists in this world. Evident in the many happy faces of people around him. Today is a beautiful day. Tomorrow, even better. The future looks bright.
God Almighty, thank you for bringing us together during this unprecedented and challenging time. We ask that as we move forward as a community into the next normal, you give us the strength, patience, and wisdom needed to overcome these trials and rise above the pandemic. We pray for our present-day heroes who are on the front lines fighting against the virus, those who have become sick, and those who have died. May they have eternal rest. For those of us who are holding on to hope, please give us the grace to never give up. Dearest God, heal our land. Amen.
Maayong hapon, kanatong tanan, and thank you for joining us here today on our 8th episode of Rafi's Restart webinar series, which aims to provide practical information that will help our community not only survive but thrive in the new normal. So let me start off by introducing myself. My name is Jackie Clavin, and I work for the Ramona Boites Foundation Incorporated, also known as Rafi. So this Restart webinar series is aligned with Rafi's vision of touching people, shaping the future. So in this series, we've been discussing a variety of topics relevant to our lives in the new normal. In the past few months, we've had a variety of experts discuss different topics with regards to our mental and physical health, and also other things such as how to restart our businesses or how to travel in the new normal. We want to empower our viewers with information so that we can move forward together confidently as a community into the new normal. So as we all know, even though we have been downgrading our community quarantine status here in Cebu and across the country, the threat of contracting COVID-19 is still very real, no? So we need to continue to take precautions to avoid contracting the virus, such as minimize going outside of our homes, practicing proper social distancing when we do have to go out, frequent hand washing and wearing of face masks or other face shields to protect ourselves. This is not only for our safety, but for the safety of our loved ones and the rest of our community. But in addition to those things, we can also protect ourselves from COVID-19 as well as other illnesses by boosting our immune system naturally with proper nutrition. So, in our episode today, which is entitled Eat Well, Be Well, we'll learn how to boost our immunity through proper nutrition, noting that healthy food provides our body with the right vitamins and minerals it needs to optimize our immunity. So proper nutrition also reduces our risk of other health issues such as cancer. Ma'am, na ang reason today, our Rafi Eduardo J. Aboitiz Cancer Center, also known as EJAC, has brought us this episode, no, in support and in celebration of Pink October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So our Cancer Center advocates for awareness about cancer and prevention and screening measures, knowing that early detection can save lives. We are so thankful that they will be sponsoring today breast cancer screening or mammograms for our registrants. So those that registered ahead of time, thank you so much. We mentioned before that it would only be one, but we're happy that it has been expanded to two. So we would like to congratulate those winners, the first being Miss Evelyn Corsino from Cebu City, and the second being Miss Edna Magsoling from Bogo City, Cebu. So congratulations. Thank you for registering ahead of time. No, we hope that you're here with us today watching in Zoom or on Facebook. Our EJAC program team will be in contact with you later on about how you can avail of your free mammogram. No, this is along with their advocacy for early detection and the importance of screening for cancer. No, so thank you again to our Cancer Center for that. So we'll go over some guidelines for our webinar this afternoon. For those of us that registered ahead of time and are in the Zoom session, we want to go over just some tips, right, to make this process smooth. For those of us that are not in Zoom, you are watching through Facebook Live. So you can still engage and comment there and continue to ask questions, right, for our speaker that may come up later on. So we'll proceed with our guidelines for today. So first, let's please make sure that we keep ourselves on mute the entire time because we want to avoid disrupting our speaker, right? So for those of us in the Zoom room, you can just ensure in the left-hand corner of your screen that your microphone is unmute for the entire time. Next, we also want to keep our camera off for the entirety of the session so that our speaker will not be distracted as well. Next, you can also ask questions or interact with the other folks watching in the room by using the chat button in the Zoom. For those of us that are on Facebook, you can use the comment section. For your questions, you can also ask them through there. We have team members that will be compiling all your questions for Mr. Ong later on. Next, if you'd like to give some affirmation for our speaker, give him a thumbs up or a virtual round of applause, you can do so using the react button. So to summarize our rules for this afternoon session, number one, keep your microphone on mute during the webinar proper. As likewise, please keep your camera off for the entire duration of the webinar. And then use reactions or the chat box if you have any questions or concerns. Questions will be addressed as much as time allows during our Q&A session after our speaker's presentation. So thank you again for participating and for being here this afternoon. So without further ado, let me introduce our speaker. We're very thankful that he accepted our invitation for this afternoon. See, Mr. Mark Joseph Ong is a registered nutritionist dietitian at DietWise Nutrition Consultancy here in Cebu City. So Sir Mark graduated from the University of San Carlos with a Bachelor of Science in Nutrition and Dietetics. He also has a continuing medical education certificate in cancer nutrition, cardiovascular health, botanicals, and health foundations from the University of Arizona for integrative medicine. Prior to working at DietWise, he had his medical preceptorship under the late Dr. Dennis Tudtud, who was one of the country's top medical oncologists, and he has worked at Cebu Cancer Care, the Philippines' first and only cancer survivorship center. So he's also a frequent speaker all across Cebu. Now he's spoken for Rotary Clubs, cancer foundations, academic institutions, government agencies. So we're very happy that he's, very passionate about sharing his advocacy for good nutrition, noting that it can not only help, in the time of the pandemic with COVID, but also as a preventative measure for other diseases, especially cancer. So I would like to ask Sir Mark to join us here on the Zoom session. Thank you for joining us here today, Sir Mark. Kumusta na ka?
Hello, mayong hapon.
Hello, Sir Mark. Mayong hapon. Nice to meet you. So how are you doing today? Kumusta na ka?
I'm good. Kulbaan ko.
Kulbaan ka? I don't think so, Sir Uy. You're always giving webinars and Zoom sessions about nutrition. No, I saw your Facebook page. Daghan kayo kuan video topic. So we're very happy that you've joined us here today to talk about how we can boost our immune system naturally during the time of COVID. No, kay dili pa kasalig lang na, even with frequent hand washing and everything, it's good, that we have a second defense or a good defense for our immunity, di ba, sir?
Yes.
Sige. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Sir Mark, remembering that if you have any questions that come up during his topic, you can just chat them in the Zoom chat box or in the Facebook group, no? And we will also be having trivia questions later on, Sir Mark, diba? So please feel free to, once you might want to pay attention, during Sir Mark's thing so that you can participate later on. Okay, we have prizes. We have additional breast cancer screenings to be given away as prizes from our Eduardo Aboitiz Cancer Center. So stay tuned for that in our Q&A session. So are you ready, Sir Mark? And we turn it over to you. Sige.
Ready na. Okay.
Okay, sige. Thank you, Sir Mark.
You're welcome, Jack, and thank you for that introduction. So this afternoon, I will share like a few things. Gamay ra ni akong slides, no, but I hope makuha or ninyo so that it will be very kanang dali ra siya i-remember ba. So just a very few slides lang ako sang i-load. Okay, so let me begin with the premise that well-being abounds, which means to say, if you just look at nature, no, kuan yun kaning. If you look at nature, perfect yun ang nature, no, there is abundance, everything is good. So when we go to nature, ang atong paminaw maayo yun, no. So when we go to beaches, mountain tops, we feel really good, and sometimes we feel the healing taking place. So I just want to remind everyone that this is the kaning original yun na to nga state, well-being yun. So when we were born, most of us wala gyud tay sakit most of the time, unless lang naiuban nga kanang mga rare lang gyud kay nga mga genetic diseases nga naa gyud sakit hindi ka born, but very rare lang na siya ma-happen. Most of the time when we are born, puros gyud ta healthy ang immune system, wala kay tay sakit, no. It's just along the way when we grow older, we have responsibilities, we have family to take care of, we have businesses, we have jobs, dinha magsugod o gawas ang mga sakit. So ang kahana sa so kita ray nag-pinch out sa atong health, sa atong well-being. So my message right now is we need to go back to the basic yun nga nature sa toa, which is we want to go back to having well-being. So for patients nga katong na mga sakit, katong na mga cancer, na heart disease, diabetes, I'm here to tell you nga pwede gyud na siya ninyo ma-reverse. So nature is very good to give us a lot of foods in a form of whole foods automatic to maintain or reverse that well-being. So mo na siya nga nature has itself given us these things, no? So according to Hippocrates, ingon siya, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. So mo din siya original nga kanang medicine actually, no? Meaning to say, if we eat so much of this when we were growing up, wala gid unta kay tayo mga sakit karon. The problem is kani manggong advent of industrialization na modern na ta so na mga fast foods sayo na lang kay nato makuha ning mga pagkaon na processed, so dinha nagsugod og daghan kay sakit because before wala man kaitaan ning problem nga naa nato karon in terms of health. And then karon grabe naman kayo daghan naman kayo, even childhood obesity is increasing right now. So we just need to go back to the basic, which is eating the healthy foods. So for today's talk, I would like to share a few of these foods nga ato na yung easily ma-apply sa ato ang diet and makakita gid mog significant change as long as you just follow this one. I call this the G-bombs. G-bombs. So these are the foods nga atong istoryaan. Sayo na kay ni I just made an acronym. So this is the bomb of nature, no? Nga atong isud sa atong lawas, healthy kayo tani. So G stands for greens, B stands for beans, O stands for onions and garlic, M stands for mushroom, B for berries, and S is for seeds. So mo na siya atong topic karon, G-bomb. So para sayon kayo hinumdumon. So let's start with G, greens. So first, if you eat greens, maayo kaya na siya incorporate sa diet because mao gyud na siya major detoxifier sa ato sa atong body. When you eat this green vegetables, so daghan man og green vegetables. That's why nature is so good nga daghan siyang choices. So examples of this are kangkong, alugbati, and spinach, no? And then you have your romaine lettuce, you have kale. Broccoli is also considered greens, kamunggay is also considered greens. So daghan kay choices. You can start with what you want. So unsay ganahan nimo, so ganahan kag lettuce, you can start with that. So that's a good thing. Kay example, if di ko ganahan alugbati, I can eat kangkong or I can eat spinach. So you start with unsay ganahan nimo greens. So ang nakanindot ani because ang kaning greens they have similar effect raman. So the first major nga effect ani niya is detoxifier. So it helps detoxify toxins sa body. It helps detoxify kaning mga hormones sa body nga kanang overproduced, like example estrogen, especially for breast cancer patients. When there is an overproduction of estrogen, mo na siya usa nga mo drive og magka breast cancer ka or usay ovarian cancer. So when you add greens to your diet, ma-help na siya balance ang imong estrogen production. So helpful kayo. And then in terms of cancer powerhouse sad yun, ang spinach yun mo ay number 1 ani nila. So always remember spinach kay ang spinach man god you can just plant this sa imong backyard or front yard. We have a neighbor nga kanang nagtanom siya spinach and then hatagan mi niya spinach per me kay daghan kayo iyang bunga ba. So pasalamat kay ko because I've read a research nga among all the vegetables, ang spinach mo ay number 1 cancer killer di ay. With different forms of cancer, lung cancer, lymphoma, liver cancer, ovarian cancer, breast cancer, ang spinach yun mo pinaka grabe mo patay di og cancer. And this is good news for us because spinach is very cheap. Barato gid kaayo, similar ra ni siya to kangkong, and then you can plant this pag yun. So we don't need to buy all those expensive vegetables like kanang mga kale, kanang mga social nga they tend to hype up ba. You can get it sa spinach. So kana no and then ang spinach also has this certain compound called CoQ10, CoQ10 enzyme. This is very important for heart health kay mao na siya mo help nga ang atong batteries sa ato ang cells maayo ang functioning. So silbi sa heart muscle man nato, iya mang i-help nga ang ato ang muscle is effective siya o efficient ang iyang pagpump og blood sa ato ang body. So if you buy this in a supplement form, ang kaning CoQ10 is medyo expensive. This is also used for breast cancer patients nga for kanang chemotherapy para dili kayo madamage ang ilang heart sa side effects sa chemotherapy, especially when they use doxorubicin. So in US, integrative nga cancer treatment centers, they use this one, ang kaning CoQ10. So you can also have this as protection sa imuha when you eat a lot of spinach or when you make your juices or smoothies, butangan natong spinach. You can have this component already, kaning CoQ10. So that's it for the greens. So incorporate ni sa inyong diet at least 1 cup of green vegetable during your lunch and your dinner as a start. Ayun na gyud kay na siya. And then we move to beans. So ang kaniyang beans, this is the ideal protein source. Contrary to popular belief nga ang pinakamaayo nga protein kay para makusgan kuno ta is meat, no, meat and beef para kuno macho ana. So it's not true actually. Too much intake of meat and beef is highly linked to colon cancer. So delikado gid na siya ang too much intake ana niya. Contrary nga ang beans is the ideal source of protein kay maka-reverse ni siya heart disease, maka-reverse ni diabetes, even cancer. So in studies sa US, when they tried to reverse diabetes, ilang i-remove ang rice and they introduce beans. Grabe gud kayo pag-drop ang blood sugar. So this is good news if you are diabetic or if you're having a hard time nga mag-manage imong blood sugar. Introduce beans to your diet because this is the ideal protein source. It is high in fiber, taas ni siya og vitamins and minerals. It prevents homocysteine. Kaning homocysteine, mao ni siya ang compound na maka-induce og heart disease because it damages our blood vessels. Musaka ato ang cholesterol if taas sa ang atong homocysteine. So mo ni siya introduction sa heart disease. So beans have this folate, mao na siya vitamin nga kanang maka-help nga dili mosaka ang atong homocysteine level sa body nato. So beans have that. So nindot kaayo if you have also heart disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, beans can help you with that. So that's why it's good for heart health. And then it's anti-cancer because the higher yung imong bean intake, the lower ang imong risk na magka-colon cancer. And then it's also diabetes, which I already mentioned ganina nga maka-help siya og lower down sa blood sugar. Also, there are studies coming out right now. If you want to extend your lifespan, if you want to live longer, beans is the key. Muna siya usa ka certain food nga ilang study sa mga kaning mga old people bitaw, and then they found out nga kani siya maka-extend siya sa lifespan by around 8% if you eat a lot of beans. And then sa study nila, you just need around 2 tablespoons per day of beans na maka-enhance sa imong lifestyle. So if you want to live longer, have beans, kaon aning beans. And then so there are different types of beans, no? So as you look at the picture na ay kanang monggos, you have red beans, chickpeas, white beans. Sorry ha, na-distracted lang ko gamay. Okay. So chickpeas, white beans, red beans, garbanzos, but included sa dili ang i-appeal nila ang red rice o black rice. So don't mind it lang, but helpful sa nasang black rice and red rice because when you combine beans with black rice and red rice, there is something ang mixture ana niya is very nice na ma-complete ang protein, ang certain nutrients will work together synergistically when red rice or black rice is eaten together with beans, nindot na siyang effect. So we also want to practice doing that. Although I understand kita Pinoy at amanad ni no, Mexicans mo anad kaya ni, but we can practice doing this in our diet. Like ako, I admit di kay ko ganahan og beans yun sa gapsap kayo, like lisod kay kaonon, but I had to practice doing this. So karon medyo I'm proud to say nga mukaon ako chickpeas, mukaon ko bonggos, mukaon ko white beans. So I'm practicing already. So it feels good, mas longer ang ang busog, mas lighter siya. It's a different feeling. So I encourage everyone na incorporate yun din ninyo ang beans sa inyong diet. Okay. So now, we move to onions and garlic. So kumana naman ta sa G, greens, B, beans, O na ta, onions and garlic. So onions and garlic are rich in allicin, which helps the body remove toxic compounds, including carcinogens or cancer-causing compounds. So it has also been found to enhance immune function. So antiviral ni siya, antibacterial sa ni siya ang onions and garlic. It can reduce blood clotting and lower blood pressure. So this is good for the heart. Also, ang kaning garlic, I will add, if you crush the garlic and then i-leave nimo siya for 10 minutes before nimo kaunon, magduga man na siya, magbasa na siya ang garlic. That is the best time to eat it. Kaya ang iyahang allicin compounds, ang iyang enzymes na extract yun siya, no? So when you eat it, active kayong compound, you get the most of it. And the garlic is also very effective to lower down your bad cholesterol. So if naa kay problema sa cholesterol levels nimo, garlic is one mura medicine, mahog nimo food medicine nga maka-lower down sa imong cholesterol naturally. So for those dili ganahan mag-take og statin drugs nga kanang sa cholesterol, you can try doing garlic first. If di na makaya sa garlic, you can consider taking your medications. So kana no, 2 cloves of garlic ang required if you have problems sa kaning cholesterol. And then other family ani nila, onion, garlic, chives, scallions, and leeks. Right? So as much as possible, every day, i-incorporate ginin ninyong garlic and onion sa inyong meals. So it is sayo na, no? If you want to add this to your vegetables, okay ra kayo, to soups, okay kayo. Alright. Now, M na ta, medicinal mushrooms. So kaning mushrooms, I really like mushrooms because sa traditional Chinese medicine, kusog kay sila mo gamit aning mushrooms. In olden times sa China, they use mushrooms for emperors, mga royalties, because they have found out sa ilahang Chinese medicine it can help prolong life. It's also called the elixir of life because emperors before want to live longer para madugay ilang pag-rule, no? So sige jud sila research ana ug unsa may maka-enhance ilang life, and they discovered nga ang mushrooms can do that. Daghan kay ni siya og mahatag sa body from detoxification, from having antiviral activity, antibacterial, anti-cancer, anti-diabetes. Hapit nga most problems nga sa body kuan sa mushroom, i-balance sa mushroom because mushroom has this immune enhancing and immune modulating effect. What do you mean by immune enhancing? So i-enhance niya ang immune system, no? Which means to say if na ay like bacteria or virus yung pakulang nakakuha ka og kaning COVID, but then ang imong immune system will fight it. So pwede nga dili ka mo develop og symptoms sa COVID or dili malahos ang imong COVID if you have good immune system. So ang mushroom can help with this one. Ang immune modulating, it means to say if your body needs nga mosaka ang imong immune system, ipasaka niya. But if your body needs nga ang imong system nimo, immune system ipa-relax niya, iyang i-relax. So it has this balancing effect sa body. Na dili man pwede permit alert ang immune system lang po. Di man sa maayo. Permi lang kanang kuan. Triggered ang immune system. So it also has time to relax. So i-balance na siya. So mushroom has the ability to do that one. That's why nga indot gud siya, no, i-appeal sa inyong diet. And then there are certain kinds of mushrooms. There are different kinds of mushrooms. There is maitake mushroom, there is agaricus mushroom, reishi mushroom, coriolus mushroom, and cordyceps mushrooms. So these are the more popular mushrooms. And then most of these mushrooms, similarly, naan sila gitawag og beta-glucans. See, this is the compound na maka-enhance sa kanang immune system na to. It's called the beta-glucans. So most of these mushrooms naa sila ani as to the what degree different lahi-lahi na siya. So for example, no, I would like to share lang kung unsa akong duha ka favorite mushrooms na I take. So first is this cordyceps mushroom. Ang kaning cordyceps mushroom is very good for energy and stamina. since I like to play basketball, ganahan ko nga medyo hanginan ko ba, ito dali maluya. So I tried taking this already before. So nindo jud ang experience mo, mas taas ang hangin, mas taas ang stamina, mas naka-energy, dili kayo luya. For men, this is very good because this is also kaning helpful to improve sexual health. Kadtong mga naay problem with kanang sa may binasaya ano problem with blood flow ba kanang problema sa mga lalaki ba nga dili mo barog, sorry I have to say that, pero kanang erectile dysfunction in English. So mao na siya maka-help na siya sa issue nga inana sa mga lalaki. So I have patients also nga kanang ganahan nga mag-conceive sila og baby and then maglisod sila. So I recommend this one, ang cordyceps. So far makaanak gyud sila, mo improve jud, and this can also increase sperm counts for males. So dako ni siya tabang ang kaning cordyceps mushroom. Also ang kaning cordyceps mushroom na popularized ni siya because during the Olympics way back sa 90s, there were Chinese runners nga who broke world records. Hibong to, there was a time sa Olympics nga grabe kayo ang China o gold, daghan kay sila gold adto. So intriga kayong kalibutan, they tried to interview the Chinese nga mga runners, also the coaches. Unsay sikreto ninyo? What was different sa trainings, or what did this athletes take something anong grabe king world records ilang na break? And then the trainer said nga wala raman, we just let them take cordyceps mushroom. So dito sikat kining cordyceps. After that daghan na din kay studies ang gawas. And then the Olympic Committee tested them, ang mga Olympians, and then they found out there were no banned substances. So this is safe. Wala siya ingon nga kanang substance nga makadaot sa body. Although dili lang sa tapataka lang din take ani, if you have other medications, you need to have advice from nutritionally well-versed nga physician, because not all physicians man sad ang nutritionally well-versed, no? So or you can go to a nutritionist or a dietitian nga well-versed pod og mga nutritional supplements like inani herbs and kon. Before you take anything like this, mas maayo gyud mosulti sad ka unsay buhang mga tambal para matanaw kung naay mga interactions. Ana siya. So that's the cordyceps. The second mushroom I'd like to share is about agaricus mushrooms. This is also good because this is popular ni siya starting the 1960s to 70s. Sikat ni siya tungod this was the mushroom used ni ex-president Ronald Reagan when he developed skin cancer. So successfully na-treat niya ang cancer by taking this one. So after that sa daghan og studies ani, Japanese studied this one, the Koreans ni study ani, mga Chinese ni study ani. Even Memorial Sloan Kettering in New York is also studying this one and approved this one sa FDA, ang kaning agaricus mushroom. So this has also been found to help lower down and reduce the side effects during chemotherapy and radiation. So cancer patients who were taking agaricus mushrooms has better response sa treatment sa chemo. Mas dili kayo sila maupaw, mas dili kayo magnausea, dili kayo mag-vomiting if they take this one. So in terms of cancer, in terms of blood sugar, this is also very effective. 3 capsules per day ang blood sugar manage og tarong. Also good for liver detoxification. So I've tried taking this one also at low dose, 2 capsules per day lang, because I was not trying to address any health kanang concern. So lahi jud ang feeling, like it mas energetic ang feeling ba. So mo na siya, that's the agaricus mushroom. So it's good to take this as a preventive lang a measure. So a low dose will do, but if you have a problem already, like naakay diabetes, naakay cancer, it's a different dose. But it's very good. So that's for the mushroom. Other mushrooms, you can have maitake, naasay maitake, reishi, coriolus is also good. Most of these are sa immune system. My favorite lang is akong gi-share is kaning agaricus and cordyceps. Ang agaricus, edible form ani is portobello mushroom or white button mushroom. Ang extracted form, ang agaricus, mo na siya scientific name niya. But if you are in a hurry, gusto ka mo try to address your disease, ang extracted form or capsule form mo ay nindot nga way to take it. And then ang kaning cordyceps di ni siya edible, kung ano gid ni siya kanang capsule form gid ni siya ang cordyceps. So cordyceps is also good for asthma di kanang manghubakon is also good nga dili kayo mo magka-asthma attacks. So I encourage you to eat mushrooms, incorporate it in your diet. You can buy it sa groceries na actually shiitake mushroom. Actually, wala na ko ma-include. Shiitake mushroom is also present in groceries, white button mushrooms, portobello mushrooms. Kana siya, you can buy it in the groceries. But if you have an issue, diretso na lang ka sa supplement form or sa kana extracted form, capsule form. If ganahan lang mo nga mo take ani you can also contact me na lang para matagaan kag advice on sa sakto nga dose for you. Just check our page sa Dietwise Nutrition Consultancy if you're interested with this one. Okay. And then humana ta sa mushrooms, we move to the berries. So this is the second B na porma na ang BAM, no? G, greens, B, beans, O, onions and garlic, M, mushrooms, B, berries. So G, BAM na ta, berries. So kaning berries, this is very good. They-introduce sa to ang diet, although medyo foreign ni siya na to nga fruit, but na may baligyaan ni nga mga frozen nga type, frozen berries, frozen blueberries, frozen mixed berries, na daghan available ani. So I started incorporating this one to the diet plans of our patients, and we found out nga it's very effective, especially for weight loss, for blood sugar control, maayo sad kayo. So ang hatag ana nga benefits sa berries is this compounds called anthocyanins. So kaning anthocyanins, most ni siya reason nga ang color sa berries is dark, like dark blue or medyo blackish na siya, purple like that. Ang kaning anthocyanins has an anti-angiogenic effect, which means to say this has an effect on our body nga maka-prevent siya og growth of blood vessels nga mo turn nga mo pag-grow og cancer. At the same time mo help sa siya nga mo prevent ang blood vessels nga mo develop og fat. So fat sa atong belly. So this is very effective if you want to prevent gaining weight, or if you want to lose weight, this is very effective. And this is very effective if you want to prevent cancer from growing inside your body. And then brain health, in terms of brain health, kaning blueberries can also help na dili mo produce og daghan nga kanang amyloid plaques sa ato ang brain. Ang amyloid plaques mao na siya usa ka reason nga magka-develop ta og kaning Alzheimer's disease, magka-dementia ta, because naa na may plaque sa brain, no? So nanay magpara dito, so dili na kayo mayo ang memory, dili na kayo mayo ang brain function. So we can prevent that by eating berries. Also, it's good for heart health because it helps prevent the buildup of bad cholesterol. So mas maayo atong blood flow because of the antioxidants nga naa sa kaning berries. So ang pinakasayon nga pag-incorporate aning berries sa atong diet is during breakfast, when we make our oatmeal and then you add berries to it, okay na siya, daog na. Or when you want to make a smoothie, so maghimo ka og shake with berries and then spinach baron and then banana, you blend it, okay na siya. So that's one way of adding berries. And then ang kaning frozen berries is very good because ma-preserve pa man na siya ang antioxidants ana. So you can start using this one and incorporating sa inyong diet. And then lastly, seeds. So muna na siyang last. So G bombs. G, greens. B, beans. O, onions and garlic. M, mushrooms. B, again for berries. And S, seeds. So G bombs. Last na siya, seeds. So kaning seeds is very important to incorporate in our diet. Kay number 1, taas siya og fiber. Number 2, na siya saktong amount of protein. Number 3, na siya healthy fats. And then number 4, na siya mga multivitamins and minerals essential sa atong lawas. So there are a lot of beans, but for today, I would like to talk about, seeds. There are a lot of seeds like flax seeds, chia seeds, sunflower seeds, squash seeds, nasa watermelon seeds. So you can eat all of this, but for today, I would like to talk more about chia seeds and flax seeds. So ang chia seeds, nindot ni siya incorporate sa tuang diet because this has a high content of protein among the seeds and it has a high omega-3 fatty acids profile. Ang kaning omega-3 is good for the heart, anti-inflammatory na siya, cancer preventive na siya. And then it's also good for energy. So for those who are um, hilig mag-exercise, those who are physically active, no, nindot kayo ni siya ang chia seeds i-incorporate sa inyong mga drinks, like sa water alone, this is very good, or sa smoothies, i-mix ni siya, nindot kayo ni siya i-add. In my case, I add this one sa ako ang mga kanang baono na ko nga tubig. When I play basketball, sa ako ang usa ka litro nga kanang water, mutangan ako na siya og usa ka kutsara nga chia seeds. So when I drink it with the chia seeds, di kay ko kapoy. After the game, di kay ko inana kaluya compared to if tubig lang akong dadon. It's actually comparable to taking energy drinks. Inana siya, di kay kaluya, inig ka human sa imuhang activity. And then kana siya, it's also high in antioxidants is ang kaning chia seeds. So um, it's easy to incorporate in the diet, and the taste is also okay ra sad mayra sad. So mubukad ba ni siya, maka-help sa ni siya nga mas dugay sa nga busog dili din tadali kutumon. So that's chia seeds. This is very widely available in groceries. You can find this in groceries, so makapalit ka mo ani. Secondly, flax seeds. Ang kaning flax seeds, I like to share this one because this is preventive sa breast cancer and prostate cancer. So na studies ani nga kaning when they incorporated 2 tablespoons of flax seeds, maka-help siya nga dili kayo mo express ang aggressive nga cancer, like kadtong mga ER negative nga cancers, aggressive form of cancers man na siya, no, and kadtong mga HER2 positive cancers, dili kay siya mo express if you eat a lot of kaning flax seeds 2 tablespoons a day. So they have a study on this nga it can also help nga mo lower down ang kanang cancer growth, and it can also kill cancer tumors. So nindot din siyang flax seeds. So our cancer patients, usually I always tell them to have flax seeds sa ilang meal, so they can just incorporate it sa ilang kanang ilang oats nila or sa ilang smoothies. And this is also high in omega-3. So again, ingon ko ganina, omega-3 is good for heart health, for brain health, anti-inflammatory siya. So very cheap, very easy to incorporate, but very nutritious, and daghan kay benefits mahatag nato. So if we can just incorporate everything ang akong gipang storya karon sa inyong diet, no? Starting with greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries and seeds. These are the foods nga easily maka-help gud ni siya og make changes sa imong body, enhance your immune system, restore the balance sa imong body, and possibly prevent and reverse disease mo. It's just a matter of focus, it's just a matter of discipline nga kanang ato ni siyang ma-incorporate sa tuang diet. So nindot siya if sugdan dayon nato, dili nato langay-langayon. Kay you will really see a difference if you start doing this one. So muna, I just try to keep it simple for everyone para kana ato na yung ma-apply. And then so human naman to, no? That ends my presentation for all the foods, the G-bombs. And the message here is for those having a problem nga pag address sa ilang lawas karon na mga concerns karon sa ilang body, no, like kana you have cancer, you have heart disease, you have diabetes, kana siya nahitabo mo na siya because there is a certain imbalance na happens sa imong body. So it could be nutritionally imbalanced ka, wala kay kanikaon o nutritionally dense nga food sa imong lifetime, or na-imbalance sa imong mental health, maybe sige kag worry, stressed kayo ka. At some point na na siya imbalance sa imong life. So assess imong kagalingon, tanawa asang mga imbalance, because in everything balance is the key. Nature gives us that one, no, nga natanan it's a yin and yang, it's a balance. That's why our belief with my wife, si Kyrene, when we built up a diet wise, when we found diet wise, it's like we want to help our patients holistically, not only with them sa diet, but we also help them ma-address nila ilang concerns sa stress nila. It's very important to address also mental health. So everything, we look at the person as a whole. The person has a mind, body, and spirit. So when you treat everything, when you fix everything wellness abounds, health comes back, maulian gud ang tao because um it's not because kuwang tag medicines nga nagkasakit ta. Medicines can only uh, cover up the symptoms, or medicines is short term lang na siya, but the true healing, the true kanang maka-address sa mga sakit is really from the food, and even from our own body itself, na atay na wisdom ang ato ang body nga maka-heal by itself. We never tell ato ang body to heal when atay sa mad, but it just heals by itself because it has its own wisdom, and we just need to nourish that wisdom and maintain that wisdom by kana living a balanced life, eating nutritionally dense foods, and managing stress. So that's why we chose this logo sa Dietwise. More siya yin and yang. It's a balance, black and white ana siya. So it's balancing the mind, the body, and the spirit. So mo na siya ang among goal to every patient that we have na matabangan in all aspects sa ilahang pagkatao nila para we can address the disease. So that's it. That ends my presentation for today. I hope you guys learned a lot and daghan mo value na kuha ani, and you can apply this in inyong health ninyo, and you can also share this one sa inyong family and friends and yung mga loved ones. So thank you very much, everyone.
Again, salamat, Sir Mark, for the very informative presentation. So we have an acronym, something we can remember and take away. GBOMS, which stands for greens, beans, onions, and garlic. M stands for mushrooms, berries, and then S was seeds. Yeah, so thank you very much. It's very easy to remember, Sir Mark. So there were actually a lot of questions from our audience. But before we start, maybe we can start with our first trivia question to see who was paying attention during your presentation. So our first trivia question that we have for people, let me explain the mechanics first. Sorry. So the first person that is able to respond, we will have two separate winners, one in the Facebook group and one in Zoom. So the first person to comment with the correct answer will be able to win a breast cancer screening prize, courtesy of our Rafi Eduardo Aboitiz Cancer Center. So we'll start with our first question. If you were listening closely to Sir Mark, our first question will be, what mushroom did ex-US President Ronald Reagan take to successfully fight skin cancer? So again, the first person to respond with the correct answer in both Zoom and Facebook will be able to win a free breast cancer screening courtesy of our Rafi eCheck program. So while people are commenting, Sir Mark, we will let them go ahead and answer. We'll announce our winners later at the end of the program. But I want to ask Sir Mark for you, because right now in the time of COVID, we talk about our immunity. What is exactly the relationship between a healthy, nutritious diet and our immunity? Makatabang na, Sir Mark?
Of course, dako gid kay nga factor ang like kaning diet sa immunity. Kay when you follow all these foods, automatically it already kaning helps normalize our immune system. But the normal function of our immune system is really like to protect us from all these virus, bacteria, kaning siya. As long as the immune system is functioning normally, kuan gyud like kanang ma-prevent gyud nato ang mga sakit. So I just would like also to tell everyone kanang dili kay ta sobra ka paranoid, because there are some people sobra ka paranoid about aning COVID. Nayuban rightly so, because if you have heart disease, you have cancer, you have diabetes, you have these comorbidities, mao ni siyang high risk if you have those diseases. And then there's also ng studies na nagawas nga if you're deficient in vitamin D, taas ang chances magka-COVID ka. So these are problems nga nutritionally nutritionally linked siya. Kay why do you have diabetes? Why do you have heart disease? Why do you have cancer? Why do you have deficiency in vitamin D, it's because ang imuhang diet or imong nutrition is not enough. That's why nagkasakit gid ka in the first place. So it's a deficiency actually. Or pwede sad maingon na to og overnutrition, or meaning to say overeating foods that doesn't nourish the body or kanang makadamage sa tong body, like eating processed foods, fast foods, fried foods, too much kaning paig foods, no? Kanang sinugba. Kana siya. So, mao na siya. So, having a healthy diet can also enhance your immune system. So, that's really the message there na if you do all these things, akong gipang sulti, wagi kay problema, wagi kay angay hadlukan. That's really the message here.
I also noticed or know that a lot of people, because of COVID, they've been taking supplements or they've been taking vitamin C, right, in tablet form. Yeah, akong pangutana, sir, is there a difference between getting those kinds of nutrients from supplement or capsule form versus eating the food in its natural state or in its whole form? Which one is there a better version?
Ang better yun is to take it in a food form, because there are example like in terms of vitamin C alone, when you eat orange, because orange has been known to have high vitamin C content, diba? Kaya man tatanan na. But when you eat orange, you're not only having the vitamin C, you're having folate as well, or vitamins, B vitamins pa jud nga naa niya, and the fibers sad nga na mga cancer preventive nga kaning mga compounds. So when you eat the whole food, mas daghan gyud kag makuha than the supplement itself nga, like vitamin C mao lang gyud na siya, mas daghan gyud kag makuha. Ang advantage lang sad ani when you take the supplement form is like makuha sad gyud nimo siya ang dose nga required na yun nimo. Kay it depends man sad sa person, like example, no, when you compare somebody nga wala gyud kaayo siya nagkaon og fruits and vegetables, di siya habitually mo kaon og, let's just say, fruit, orange, di gid kay siya habitually mo kaon ana. And then karon panahon sa COVID, dinha pa siya mo start og kaon ana. Awahi kayo siya, kay iyang body wala pa man niya na wa pa niya na invest yang body of nutrients kumbaga. So ang supplement can help with that para mas faster niya masud ang vitamin C sa iyang body. Ang supplement will be very helpful nga mas taas ang dose, masud yun sa iyang lawas, rather than kung karon pa siya nagsugod og kaon og orange, awahi na. So the best thing is mukaon siya sa orange and moinom siya sa vitamin C. Dungano na niyang duha. That is the best way. Rather than mupili siya sa usa.
Para sure. No.
Para sure.
Para sure.
So that's what we also do sa, like, I mean, that's what we do. Like, me and my wife, when we have health concerns like sipunon me, or like we feel feverish, we don't take biogesic diretso or any paracetamol or anti-inflammatory. Dili, unahon na mo ang food, like sige mag-smoothie ta, or let's have ginger tea or kanang, then let's take vitamin C, high dose na to, then let's take the fish oil, ang among intervention. We don't necessarily diretso tagtambal, and then so the next day the next day okay na, ayo na mi, or ginana siya.
You're giving your immune system extra support, no, in terms of those supplements, so that your immune system can do its job, no, rather than instead of masking the symptom with medicine, right? You're giving your body its additional support so that it can naturally defend itself. No, so thank you for answering that, Sir Mark. We'll go to the answer of our first questions kay Nanay Winner. So if we can go ahead and display the answer for our first trivia question, which was about the mushroom that Ronald Reagan took to fight skin cancer. So, the answer is agaricus mushroom. Sakto na, Sir Mark? Agaricus? Agaricus mushroom. So this is the portobello or the white type of mushroom, no?
White type.
Okay. So our winners from the Zoom session is Annalie Jimenez. She was the first to comment with the correct answer. And then from Facebook was Miss Mary Ann Bohos. She was the first to comment with the correct answer. But for those of us that weren't able to get that, don't worry. We still have our second and last trivia question, no? So we'll ask this and then we'll go ahead and proceed with our other question and answer. So trivia number 2 is, what mushroom did Chinese Olympian runners take that broke world records, that helped them to break world records, no? So we'll let you think about the answer to that. But in the meantime, madayon ta, Sir Mark, with our questions. So we have a question here. Is the garlic from Taiwan or China being sold in carbon safe to use? I think ang background on that maybe is, I think the bigger questions, Mark, is, are those agricultural products, no, like fruits and vegetables, lamas that are not grown organically, does that make them less safe, or is there a difference between organic and commercially grown food products?
Mm. Actually, there's really a difference kanang organic ug dili, no? In terms of nutritional content, mas taas gyud og antioxidants kining organic compared to this commercially produced. However, di sad ta kaingon nga kaning mga commercially produced nga wala tad sila nutrients, no? It's just nga naagyapon siya nutrients. It's just nga kana naalay mga pesticides, naay mga spray, di lang gid na nato malakaya, naa lang gyapon, but it doesn't mean nga wala na siya effect. And then it doesn't also give you the excuse not to buy it or not to take it, no? Kay kanang for me lang mas practical ko, like if I cannot buy organic but na ako nakita nga garlic diri nga I know it's helpful for my health but dili lang siya organic, I would still buy it. Bahalag di siya organic kay ako salig ko sa akong immune system nga it to clean up my kuan kanang kung unsa magali harmful nga component na like our immune system, our body is very intelligent in kana cleaning up what is not necessary for us. If you can buy organic, but if not, palit lang yapon. And then you can buy a spray nga maka-help og remove sa mga kaning mga pesticides, or you can do kadtong suka and baking soda, imo lang i-soak din ha imong produce for around 5 to 10 minutes. Like baking soda, suka, salt, calamansi, that combination, imo lang i-soak din ha imong fruit and vegetable and herbs nimo, imong i-soak din ha for 5 to 10 minutes with water. That can help clean up the kadtong mga chemicals nga gipang spray. So you can also do that. That's another option.
So that what you call it, at least malimpyo ang produce nimo.
Yes,
so
malimpyo.
We have another question, no? I think, sir, no, very intriguing ang imong discussion sa mushrooms, because for me, I don't know this na, dili ko magkaon og mushrooms all the time. So what advice would you give to people looking to incorporate more mushrooms? There was a question here if you know the names of some that are commercially available, or if what you call it, if they have to be cooked first, before, or are there some mushrooms that can be eaten raw? Can you give a little bit more expansion on your mushrooms discussion, Sir Mark?
Most of the mushrooms, like like shiitake mushroom, let's just start with the kanang basic lang kaayo nga atong ma-incorporate, and then naarasad makita na diri sa Cebu. So mostly ang makita sa groceries are shiitake, white button mushrooms, portobello, say naarasad. So mao ni siya mostly naara makita na to diri. So kani sila nga mga mushrooms, angay gud ni sila iluto kay para mo soften sila pa mohumok. You can add this with kanang if magsaute kag vegetables, example broccoli with mushrooms, ganana. So nindot na siya, and then you can also mix it with soups. So ang mga Chinese and Koreans, they incorporate it sa ilang mga sabaw. They slice it lang gagmayon and they incorporate silang sabaw. So they use it as a tonic. So tonic, it means to say it tones the immune system. Like I mentioned kanina nga mo immunomodulate siya. The same way like ni tone ka sa immune system, just like a muscle ba. I-tone ni mo imuhang muscle kay para if na ay something kailangan og alsa, once imuhang muscle is toned, ready siya mo alsa. So in terms of our immune system, if na ay invasion, na ay virus, na ay bacteria, mo invade sa lawas, ready kay siya mo fight diretso because toned man siya. kuan man siya, silbi murag trained man siya for that. But if
Oh.
atong immune system is not toned, we are so stressed, we don't eat the right kinds of food, ito yung system weak kaayo, or in terms of if makancer ang usa ka tawo, it means to say ang iyang immune system nabugo ba, ang iyang immune system ba, in terms of intelligence na override siya, na corrupted siya sa cancer, somewhat like that. So wala mo grow ang cancer kaya ang immune system cannot cope up with it. So that's why cancer happens. So but otherwise, in normal occurrences lang, sakto ang imong diet, sakto ang imong stress management, malipayon ka, wala kay daghan nga negative emotions, usually the body can just really fight mga diseases. Kana.
So when you say toning, no, so this is something you can add. The more you incorporate it into your diet, the stronger your immune system will become. So if ever simbako na ikuan masakit ka or something, your body has a better chance of recovering, no, or being able to fight the virus or being able to fight the illness. So this is
Yes.
something that you should not just eat mushrooms once, and that's it. No, it's something that has to
Yes.
become kind of, you really incorporate it na as much as possible into your diet, no, and all of the other things you mentioned, sir. And so I think we'll go to the answer of number 2 now. Kay I think nanay winner for those aptik kaayong mga viewers karon, Sir Mark. So again, for the mushroom that the Chinese Olympian runners took to help them break world records, the answer to that is cordyceps mushroom. No, so if you were paying attention, Koan, si Sir Mark mentioned that earlier in his presentation. So we have 2 winners. Our winner from Zoom is Miss Cheryl Pegarido. So congratulations. And our second winner from Facebook is Miss Risa Aguirre. So please make sure that you have filled up the registration so that our EJAC team can contact you with the details of how you can avail of your free breast cancer screening. No, so I have another question for you, Sir Mark. Some of the things you mentioned, like mushroom or beans, these are things that dili kaayo common sa atong cuisine ba diri sa Cebu or diri sa Philippines. And sometimes I noticed that they're in cans, right? Or they've been processed. No, so is it okay to still eat this if usually man ang available sa supermarket or sa grocery, they're already in process form, makakuha kihapon ta og nutritional value bisag process na.
Yes. Actually, ang canned beans is one of the canned goods nga I can allow kay ang kaning mostly when you check out kaning mga beans nga in can, ang ilalang issue is the sodium content nga gibutang, because that is the one nga used to preserve the beans. But the advantage of it is makaon dayon nimo, no? Doesn't need so much nga heating kaayo. Like kami usually we buy chickpeas nga canned. So abli sa can, hugasan lang to rinse off the sodium, and after that ready to eat na siya. So it's very quick, fast kayo, efficient. So pwede ra gid kay na just rinse off the sodium. So naalang kay kuan. Unsay nga naning isala lang nimo sa running water ba para mawa ang sodium. After that okay na. And then if you can choose brands nga low ang sodium content, mas maayo gyud na kuan na low sodium ang imong tanawon. Kay mostly ang mga canned beans wala kay na sila grabbing preservatives. Sodium ra gyud na siya.
Are there any local beans or local foods that would fit under your G-bombs that maybe we would not think about, sir? Like for beans, mongos, that's a very commonly eaten food. There is a Philippines, but are there any other veggies or other foods that fit under your G-bombs model that are easy to buy, that maybe we don't think about how healthy they are, but maybe we should incorporate more in our diet?
Starting from greens, so on.
Bisag koan, maybe you can just name a few examples, sir.
Okay. So okay, I'll start from the greens. Kangkong, spinach. Ang spinach actually English siya, no? Pero actually, it's widely available gud kayo ang spinach. Walang kay tamaanad. Wa lang gud kita manad, but it's very widely available. When I see it in groceries, barato gud kayo ang spinach. It doesn't reach 50 pesos. Nga siya, so spinach is one thing na barato kay kamunggay sa greens, kangkong, wala siya, alugbati, for those who like alugbati. Ang broccoli, well, daghan mo reklamo, medyo expensive. So ayaw na broccoli. You can have the cheaper version. So what's your rason for the beans? Kana munggos and then chickpeas or garbanzos. Mao na siya pinaka easily available. Available ra gid kayo, and then lentils sometimes na sa groceries you can buy lentils, okay sa na siya. And then white beans is naara sa groceries, red beans naara sa groceries most of the time. Pero ang pinakasayo ni introduce if bag-o pa ka to beans, chickpeas ang sugdi kay dili kayo siya inana baka sagapsap or sobra ka fibrous. Because some people is dili gid ana dani. Like ako, di gid ko ana daning beans before, magsigmig pa nga tawo when I try to eat beans, maghimo og salad si Kyrene, akong wife, himo siya og salad like chickpeas with peanut butter dressing and then lettuce, and like ako dugay kay nako matuon kay di jud ko anad sa texture sa beans ba. I have to drink water, pero sige lang, bahala na basta masud lang sa akong lawas. So that's how I started with chickpeas, pero wala nga, bahala na basta ma-incorporate
practice lang yun, no?
Practice lang, especially coming off from kanang oily diet the previous night or the previous meal. So the next day, gabi itong kaon last night, nangauntag kaning mga bidli ana, so let's eat kanang healthy the next meal inana.
Balance
so,
na. That's
balance lang.
Balance lang. Kung humba imong sudan gabi, dapat kuan mag-beans ka.
Kung humba ka gabi, beans kay kuntag or paniud to or mag-smoothie ka. That's how we do it.
Okay. So it's not really about taking out, but you cannot eat anything except G-bombs, no, but it's really about finding the balance and as much as possible having a healthy diet. So co-answer, if I'll just have one last question because I think we're out of time. No, but if I could ask you, what is your one takeaway that you would like all of our viewers to walk away from this session with karon hapon? What would that message be?
My message is you are okay, you are all right. Well-being abounds in you. You just have to maintain it, and you just have to find it, and have balance in everything. Balance in your nutrition, food intake, balance in your mental health. So manage your stress, manage your anxieties as much as possible. Muna na lang, maintain healthy relationships. Look at your life nga balansi ang tanan aspects sa imong life in terms of nutrition, mental health, spiritual health, relationships. Kay di man nato malikayan kita, tao man ta, human beings, we all need all these things. So mo na atong panikamutan balance all these things, and then well-being, health will just naturally come because maom din na ato ang nature. We just forgot about that when we grow older. We forget about these things because we have different priorities. So I'm just here to remind everyone na mo na itong message, no? Okay na madyo ka. May problema.
Sige.
So that's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sir Mark, for coming in this afternoon and sharing your expertise. It's not only for, just because of COVID, but this is something that can help us with other aspects of our life, especially things like cancer, diba, sir? So thank you so much for sharing your method of G-bombs. It's very memorable, easy to remember. And we hope that you'll be able to, continue your advocacy, sir, for proper nutrition and for a balanced lifestyle. So again, thank you so much, Sir Mark, for this afternoon. If you'd like to learn more about Sir Mark's, advice about nutrition, you can go to the DietWise Facebook page. That can check videos now that you could watch for further information. So thank you again, Sir Mark, and we'll just wrap up this afternoon. So thanks, Sir Mark. And this pandemic has forced us to really change and adapt in many aspects. And so one of our adjustments that is really having proper nutrition. And like Sir Mark said, finding that balance no focusing on a healthier lifestyle and focusing on foods that can keep our immune system up in good shape to minimize our chances of getting sick. As they say, the best cure is prevention. So, or they also say, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. No, so even before we start to have any health problems, we try our best to maintain a healthy lifestyle, and nutrition is one of those methods on which we can achieve that. So, including what do you call it, reducing the risk of other diseases such as cancer. And since October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Rafi's Eduardo J. Aboitiz Cancer Center, also known as EJAC, is bringing you information online through our Facebook channel. So we can become more informed and also share this with our loved ones. No, we can easily share this on our Facebook. So kahibaba mo, ang Philippines is actually #1 in Asia in terms of breast cancer diagnosis and incidence. No, so it's really becoming a public health problem that especially affects women. So it's important that we are informed on what we can do to make sure that we reduce our chances of getting this disease. So if you would like to show your support for Pink October, you can share our infographics that will be released throughout the month on our Facebook page. You can also have the choice to add a frame to your Facebook profile as well. So you can actually add this filter to show your support to your Facebook friends now that you want them to be aware of the possibility of breast cancer, the risk of breast cancer. And also you can find this on Facebook frames under Rafi EJAC. So I'll tell a little bit more about our cancer center. Our EJAC Cancer Center offers services to fulfill its mission to save those who could be saved, right? Because we believe that prevention and early detection is the best way to fight against cancer. So we have two assistance programs. The first is for treatment assistance. Now, the basic overview is this. Now, we offer treatment assistance for indigent patients who have been diagnosed with early stages of cancer, meaning stages 0 to 2. These are still the early stages of cancer where it can be most treatable. The applicant should be between 18 to 65 years old, and they must be a resident of Cebu. No, we also offer assistance for cancer screening and diagnostics or diagnosis. So the requirements for that would be a lab request from your doctor, a certificate of indigency, and then a passport photo 2x2. So we have the flyer here on the screen, but don't worry because we also have this on our Facebook page. So you can easily just visit us on Facebook to get additional information. No? And if you have further inquiries, our contact number is also there on our Facebook. I think what I want to emphasize here is the availability of screening as well. This is something I think most women over the age of 40, or if you have a history of breast cancer in your family, this is so important because this is something we can easily do. No, Simbako, we are already in the early stage. We have a better chance of survival if we're able to catch it early. So we highly encourage all women who are, in those groups already to really avail of screening. So again, you can find all of that information on our Facebook page, as well as to stay up to date for our future episodes of Restart. So we hope that you enjoyed today's session. We'd like to know what you thought. So please, we'd like to ask you to take the time to answer our evaluation form online so that we can make our future episodes even better. And again, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we'd like to encourage everyone to stay informed and to be screened because early detection saves lives. So, in line with Rafi's vision of touching people, shaping the future, we hope that our session today has made you more aware of what we can do amidst this pandemic and how we can move forward together into the new normal. So thank you everyone so much for joining, and remember to stay safe.